expectations.
Protect the bombs.
Oh. Why the fuck does my Steam overlay keep coming up? Fuck your mom. No,
oh, listen, James, I'm stop down. I said almost DK James because I was stopped out.
yeah, James, fuck your mom. James is the reason I banned Nashing League, bro.
Yeah.
My level stack, bro. Anonymement. Shiku.
Yeah, I'll shake.
10 seconds to insertion.
I'm smoky.
Be advised.
I've not been playing on PC for long though.
Did you, you switch from console?
Yeah.
Why is there just a drone
Ready
inside?
to engage.
Oh, I think I missed it.
I've been playing PC for. I started playing last season, but I only started playing ranked this season.
How much time do you have on console?
Probably about 4 seasons, maybe.
About a year. You've been playing the game for about a year and some change.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Did you come from another shooter?
Pardon?
Did you come from another shooter, like another FPS?
Not another FPS. I came from Fortnite.
Okay. All right. That helps.
Yeah.
Oh, I landed it.
So here, you know, if you're not gonna do anything, yeah, just get on cams like you are now. You should have been on them earlier because there's nothing else for you to do. Just kind of not doing anything productive, right? You always want to be as productive as you can be.
Yo, one's bomb green right now.
Like, oh, no way. Oh,
How bad was it? How bad was it?
really whiffed. I could tell.
Oh.
I think it's because I just didn't.
Dead here, bro. You're so bad.
No way. No way.
So bad. I got air jump, bro.
Yo, no, I can't lie. My window is definitely bugged out here, bro.
Damn, I can't hear anything.
Bro, I fucking
No, everything's so weird.
Jackie's coming.
You outside. I'm.
So let me ask. So do you think your playstyle is different on test server just because it doesn't matter as much?
A bit different. Not like I play like this mostly, but like it's I'd say it's a bit different. Yeah.
Just more aggressive, probably.
Yeah. Just yeah.
Okay. Also
Alright.
here, pay attention to your Womais as well, because if you die, then you know they're useless. You're about to have 2 in probably 10 seconds or so.
so green, right?
So kind of, remember where you put yours. So currently you have one on red door, and then you have one right above you, right?
Yeah.
So then you should fill the spots. Maybe one in server, maybe one on box, wall, or something.
Yeah.
But just just ooh, that's rough. Yeah. So these two, this one is going to destroy the Melusi, and then while this one gets caught, this is also probably going to destroy that one. So yeah, like stacking while my magnets is a no-go. Never do this here between these two, and also never put it next to utility like that, because then it makes everything pointless by that point. The whole point of you putting a my magnet down is to burn the area, right? To burn utility. And if a grenade gets caught by this one here or an ash charge, it's going to get everything. And you defeated the whole purpose of you pretty much playing Wamai in the first place.
Yeah.
I can't even see this guy.
Red, Jackal coming.
He's repelled.
He's trying to floor bang me, bro.
He shot me through the metal fucking thing, bro.
I watched red stairs down.
They're gonna get the
How am I getting?
5. There's one underneath.
Okay, if you move cam to the left, there's someone.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Okay.
What bot? What a bot? He smoked it off and run through.
One's in Skybridge. One's in Skybridge anyway. I can watch red stairs cam.
One's in server downstairs.
Embarrassed.
Where you can?
Downstairs, downstairs.
And breach now in box and server or control.
I'm in server, bro.
One's outside.
Downstairs.
Yeah, so make sure that you're picking up on the audio cues. The last one's inside already.
Yeah.
Just watch red karma.
Left now, I believe.
Downstairs.
I think she's in below. No, probably not.
Yeah, she was.
15
And
seconds
then
left.
I just I potatoed her and didn't realise that the
10 seconds
melusi
to
was
go.
behind me.
One friendly operator remaining.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, you can position yourself a little different here. So, you have the choice of, crossing this corner because you know that she can't come window because there's no time, as well as, you hear the audio and clearly she's not in the window.
Yeah.
So if your teammate is in server holding the server door, there, you can sit just around this corner near the window right there, and hold this same angle, but still play off the melusi behind you. Because you know for a fact that if he gets on a window rappel, he doesn't have enough time, and if he is, then you'll hear him even beforehand. And if you die anywhere from him being outside of the window, then he has no time to grab diffuser and plant, which is ultimately, even if you have to sacrifice your life, it's still for the round win. So you can position yourself in an area where it doesn't matter if you die, as long as you're not leaving up the possibility of him being able to do what he did here of, walking in behind you, right? Because you ultimately want to eliminate the angle behind you, just because, what happened here is the primary example of why you would want to eliminate that angle. But understand what's being given to you, so it doesn't matter at all if you peek this window, or if you play around this corner next to the window, hold the red door and play off of the breach, because either way, if he comes through doorway, if he comes through breach, or if he, kills you through the window, he's not going to be able to win the round. He has to go for the kill, and if the melusi plays it right, then it won't happen. But nonetheless, understand what map control you have to your advantage, so that way you can position yourself around it, and kind of use that to eliminate something like that happening there that just happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Does that help?
Yeah.
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 Wait, find that shot.
Wait.
Oh, I think that's one of the worst whiffs I've had in a
Mashallah, I'm not finished. I know, but like.
Yeah, go for it. Who can I play?
You know that metal bit that's
play,
next to the window, right?
Jaeger's banned. I mean, you can go with my if you want to.
Oh, you know that
Like, close.
that bit.
You
That's
can random pick. Oh, you got
fuck it,
frost.
bro. No.
Oh my god.
You know that
Protect the bomb.
I'm
I don't know what
having a
happened
seizure.
there.
I frost shotgun.
I was just watching the clip on how a guy I was playing with died. Because he got shot. You know the little hole?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know what happened.
Yeah, he got shot through there.
Oh, he shot me through the fucking thing.
No, my TTS is so buggy, bro.
It's fucking broken, fam. It's not buggy. It's actually fucking broken, bro.
14th of April.
Now I'm looking at my thing. What's it called?
Okay, so two things here. You're not doing anything. You're just quick peeking.
14th of April.
I understand that you probably want to get better with your mechanics, but you can do that outside of the game, right?
Yeah.
You can dump as many hours as you want into learning mechanics and stuff like that, but when you're in the game, you're in the game to play. You're not there to quick lean and stuff like that. Also here, think about what you have to your advantage, especially when you're playing Cade, because he's one of those operators where his utility opens up a lot of possibilities with where you can place it to deny a hatch or a wall. Versus Bandit, you're very restricted in where you can place the utility. But with Cade, you can pretty much put it anywhere. So if you shoot out, that there, you can put the Cade Claw in the top right corner there. It gets the hatch, whatever it is. You can maybe put it on the other side. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that if you put it there in this little corner, it'll get the hatch. So be creative when it comes to utility like that, because you don't want to make the enemy's jobs harder, or easier of them just, here obviously you're limited.
Yeah.
Very much, You could put it on the bottom end of this light fixture for any IQ, for that matter, you know, because if she's trying to shoot it through the floor, and if she's directly above it, like say there, and she's trying to shoot it down, you know, it's gonna make it just, you know, those little things, right? Those little things like that, you have to look at it as every single second, especially on defense, that you waste is a win, right? So, I mean, it can come down to fractions to tenths of seconds between winning or losing a round. So, you know, you putting the Cade Claw on the bottom end of the little light fixture right there, and it's sticking down like that. You know, that time wasted for that IQ to get that could be the difference of them having the ability to plant or take a gunfight and afford to have that time towards the gunfight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do.
Op 4 has located a bomb.
Why is my fucking mouse
Playing
button
bathroom
full?
without.
Reach into Moscow.
Same thing here again. You know, just getting on default cams is a super strong
what
thing.
The hell?
So that way you don't have to really guess where the attackers are going to be coming from, because you have solid info off just default cams.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, they have a Flores.
Oh my god.
Ow!
That's so Flores, bro.
Ow! How? No, I'm genuinely confused how I moved out of the way. Oh, I bet it was because there's a gap in the bottom of the bathroom stall. I bet you that's why.
Oh yeah.
Hibana main stairs.
He has normal Flores.
You see what's happening here? So let's take a look at what you're doing here. So your immediate threat is where?
Trench door.
Yeah, exactly. So you can
Yeah.
play bathroom door here, hold an angle to trench, and the guy main stairs, the hibana that your teammates are calling out, I know you can't hear it, but they're calling hibana on main stairs. She has to walk down the stairs and then cross your angle of you holding trench here, right? To there. So not only are you eliminating the cross from the main stairs player, but you're also covering the main area of threat, which is trench currently, because the door is open and there's no info that side. I don't believe there's a melusi. I don't think there's barbed wire. At least from last time you peeked the door, I didn't see any utility there to give you info, right? So
Yeah.
Again, evaluate a situation, look at it, okay? Take 5 seconds, 3 seconds, look around, see where you can die from, and then position yourself around that. Don't position yourself around something or in a situation and expect that position just to work. Especially as a defender, because you're going to be put in situations where you're going to be pinched or you need to play a rat position, and that's fine for making that play to win the round or get man advantage or whatever it is. When it comes to an even man count with 2 minutes of the attacker's time still up, they have a lot of flexibility in what they can do. So you're not really forcing them, so they can swing trench whenever they want. They can walk down main stairs whenever they want. So instead of worrying about 2 different angles, only worry about one from you holding through the bathroom door there. So just look at a situation and see and understand where you can die from.
Yeah.
Be advised, Op 4 has located a bomb.
Nice. So then fuze and Flores.
Two above. No, one.
What? Above, oh. Flores might go trench then, maybe.
Friendly, last operator standing.
I don't know why I did that. I looked at that again, like before I uploaded it, and I just I don't know why I ran in there and didn't leave as soon as I heard the fuse charge.
You see what happens here though? This is what I meant
Yeah.
earlier about the Cades, right? That fractional difference of you thinking about something and putting more thought into it can be the difference of anything in this game. And the difference of you not thinking about the Cade that you put on the hatch here resulted in you pretty much dying, right? Because now you're in this situation and then you die. Because you got cluster charged. So they fuse, right? They fuse the room. They get the Cade Claw because it's out in the open and the shrapnel just gets in immediately. If you put it in the cabinet here, let's just say the fuse charge doesn't get it, right? Because there's still that possibility of it not getting it. But when it's out in the open, just on the middle of a hatch, there's nothing covering it. There's no protection from anything, so it's a freebie. But if you put it, in this cubby or in a concealed area, the chances of it being destroyed go down significantly, right? Just because you put a little bit more thought into it, you countered the attackers in a way. So if you did that, it doesn't get destroyed. You don't feel the need or the you just don't feel the need to come into sight to try to nitro, and then you don't get cluster charged and you stay alive, right? Just from you making that one decision of putting the Cade Claw in a different spot, and you put more thought into it. Don't allow your past self to fuck over your future self, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, think about something and ask yourself if that something will work, and
like I literally can't do shit.
just don't do something hoping it'll work. Or don't lazily do something and just expect it to be okay. Because a lot of the time it won't be.
I think it should.
Video wait so you can get a proper ranked one.
PS4 is so much better, man.
Bro, I think it
Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for assault.
Yeah, I might just. So why not? Shall I make kill holes watching these days, or will they just
No problem.
go back in?
No, you can
Bomb
make
location
it better.
compromised.
Make
Plan
them
accordingly.
that doesn't look how many stairs. That looks situated.
You can watch spot on main. Yeah, you can
10
watch spot on
seconds.
main.
5 seconds and counting. Bomb
We
located
got
by
a
Op
Jaeger
4.
on mine.
With this barb, understand that, like, I understand why you put 2 here, but there's other gaps in your defense. So as you're looking around, always a good rule of thumb to have is look at teammates' utility, so that way you can know how to position yourself around that utility, right? So the biggest thing here is goo mines and melusis, right? Because those are the other info and slowing pieces of utility to your team's advantage, right? So pay attention to stuff like that, and then fill those gaps in your defense, because that's ultimately what the attackers are trying to do, because the attackers want to make their job as easy as possible, right? And I'm pretty sure you can understand that and agree as well. And when it comes to defense, you want to make their job as hard as possible. So you don't want to leave gaps in your defense to make the attackers' jobs easier and make them more successful, or make their chances of winning the round more make their chances of just winning the round higher, right? So again, the Cade Claw last round, that one simple decision of paying attention, putting a little bit more thought into something can have a significant difference for the round, right? And when you don't put this thought into something, it leaves too many negative possibilities for your team. And what I mean by that is just a situation where it might cost you a round or a game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Does all that help, though? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, like, now you guys have nothing on scuba window or scuba stairs. Like, there's nothing over there, to my knowledge. There's no lesion mine, there's no
Zero above right now.
melusi, there's no barbed wire. Yeah, see, there's a huge gap in half of your defense.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do here?
I heard a call that someone was in Coast Guard, and I was gonna push him.
Mhm.
But I want to flat ground and not make as much noise as I would when I was running. So, but then someone was on printer stairs.
Zero above right
I mean, you don't need to flank though.
now. In Coast Guard.
Like people
Yeah.
have this huge misconception of flanking. There's a difference of wanting to flank and needing to flank. And what you just did there is the first one of wanting to flank. Because you're just kill hungry, you're bloodthirsty, or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
that's a bad habit to create because it'll allow you to be okay with, you know, making a mistake like that and just saying, "Oh, well, I got timinged," or whatever it is. But there's going to be a day where you learn that the difference between wanting and needing to flank, and the longer it takes you to learn that, the longer or the more amount of time that you could have been using to your advantage of learning when you need to flank, and understanding how to do that properly instead of just, you know, winging a wanting to flank situation, right? So assess the situation before you commit to one, because you full committed, you're exposed, you're you know, you're in the middle of the open when you walk up the stairs here. And it ultimately got you killed, and then, you know, you put your team in a bad situation just because now the attacker's got an early pick in the first 40 seconds of the round. Also, you see that 2 of your teammates are off site. If we go back here just a moment, as you're walking up the stairs, so you see that Vigil is fuck all nowhere. He's in Narnia, and this Melusi is I believe reception, I want to say, or maybe in gym. One of those two,
Yeah.
somewhere around that area. But nonetheless, now, you know, again, that gap that I was talking about just a moment ago, there's this huge gap in your defense now, where there's only 2 people sight, nobody's playing scuba, you're forcing the Melusi out of her position to come hold this cross here on the yellow stairs, and the Hibana might sprint all the way down the stairs, and guess what now? Now that you made that one simple decision and lack of thought into your utility placement, the Hibana has free roam on scuba side because there's no goo here, Melusi, or barbed wire, right? Like, she can walk all the way down, and then now she has a 1v2 on site because you die, and Vigil and Melusi have no impact in the Hibana. So the Legion, it leaves it up to the Legion and Smoke, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, it's not impossible for the Hibana to kill you, and then, you know, kill the Smoke, and then kill the Legion, and now they have full site control. Now the defenders have become the attackers, right? I've seen it too many times to count, where people just make this decision that you made, and then it ultimately fucks over the entire team. And then if it's a match point, you know, like we're down 0-3 or something like that, like I've seen it too many times. So understand that, you know, the moral of the story here, or the moral of this discussion, is that you need to understand a situation if you want to help a situation, right? So that way it gives you a deeper understanding of what you need to do and the steps and precautions you need to take in order to successfully follow through with whatever it is you're trying to do, right?
Hmm.
Maybe there's a 0.
There's a fucking gorilla coming.
So see that you see,
Why is your
that's,
phone
it's
so good, man?
exactly what happened there. Actually, I want to see how this Smoke does. Does he get fuse charged? Okay, so okay, no, he gets killed by 0. But nonetheless, you know, you put this Melusi out of her position, which is exactly what I was talking about earlier.
I can't control this and be like...
Also, getting on cams here. Let's see what kind of default cams we have. Let's see if you get on them. Okay, so you have fuck off for cams, so that makes sense why you're not getting on cams then.
Yeah.
It's test server.
Whoa, Kippy, you ain't gotta be rude.
I'm speaking facts, bro. The fucking hard stuck plat freeze, but they have a fucking 5-stack. I'm assuming they have a 5-stack, and probably they probably got some guy as a coach, fam. Probably got some skill as a coach.
Need to use your drone to locate a bomb.
Yo, Twitch, can you get this? Twitch. Right here, look.
No.
Free KP.
No.
As well.
You guys are gonna
They have a
be off black.
An advance to put. I just should.
I've seen guys spawn picking yellow, bro.
Valkyrie's
still,
Yeah.
she's still spawn picking the door, KB.
No.
I'm gonna draw myself in. But I'm
There's a guy prone on bricks a fucking window, bro.
like, why is my drone gone out?
No shot your teammate ran past that Valcam.
That's not.
I don't know how we didn't see it. It was the worst Falcon I've ever seen.
Holy
I
smokes.
can't get the wall.
See if I can cover up.
Hatch is open. Control room.
My team is muted as well. They're banning me.
And security. You know what?
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
No one's scared. But I think there's one printer.
I can't even get my drone, man.
These guys are lost.
He's still print. I mean, yeah, still printer. In the
Okay, so your teammate's calling printer out. You know, you just saw the zero get on repel, right? You saw that?
Yeah.
So zero's on repel. He's calling out someone printer, so you need to recognize this. Stop, focusing so much on this window because you've peeked this window about 4 times now. And if you're gonna peek an angle like this, it's for a cross, not for someone just to be peeking back at you, right?
Yeah.
Someone crossing is much more likely than someone trying to take an active gunfight through this window. So, recognize that you have someone printer right now and go pinch that guy. Because Jaeger's banned, you have a zero here as well. He can very easily burn my magnets. At this point, there should only be 3 magnets on the map, and I doubt that all 3 of them are going to be printer. And even if it is, the zero can still burn. You also have hibana, you also have twitch, so you have plenty of burn utility. So understand that you have a complete and utter pinch if you go printer window, and you can force that guy down the staircase. That's the only safe route he can take, and he's going to take it unless he wants to die holding that map control, which I assume he's not going to want to do, right? So it's, again, look at a situation, listen to callouts, see what your teammates are doing, see where they're looking, and play with the information that you're given, especially as an attacker, because just overall this game is a very information heavy game. Even the piece of information, whether someone's standing or crouching holding an angle, can be the difference of someone winning a 1v1 or not, right? I mean, that's how crucial information is in this game. So understand how much info that you have to your advantage to get you another free kill, which is ultimately going to set you up even more in this round, because you guys got 2 picks in the first minute 30, and you also are in a 5v3, and you have the potential to pinch someone in printer, and you have 2 drones as well. Like, you have a lot of potential to kill this guy printer, and you're just so focused on holding this cross here, right? So open your ears up. Long story short,
Okay, it's bandit red.
which you eventually do.
Honestly, so bad today. Bandit's red, and he's so shit.
yeah, he should still be there. He's run out.
AP's literally got a free kill right now. This bandit is awful.
The diffuser has been recovered.
No, I'm sorry. You can push.
If B found.
Go. Hang on a second.
No,
I would have saved your nade there. Also, you have 2 drones. You have plenty of map control to play around with. Yeah, see, he's playing exactly where I was expecting. So, this guy isn't going to be there. He's not going to be there. You would see him and also hear him.
Yeah.
So instead of just full sending, you have 2 drones on person, right? I'm sure you know about how important drones are. So, again, this is the prime example of committing to a situation before evaluating it, right? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You full sent through the window, pre-fired, and then look right, and you don't even have the chance to kill this guy, because he's pre-aim exactly where you're at, and this is a really difficult gunfight to take. So, yeah, like, understanding stuff like that, and the teammate, gets the refrag, which is good. You guys might have communicated that, but I didn't hear him responding to anything because you're muted, which is unfortunate. But I think it was just a more or less a timing thing.
Yeah, no, he's still there. He's still there.
Yeah.
Let me try
I realized I shouldn't use my drone when I watched this back.
He is.
I thought, oh my god, why didn't I just drone?
Yeah, exactly, and that's one of those situations where, the difference between the individual who makes a mistake like that is if they allow themselves to make that same mistake in the future, because that's a one-stop shop kind of mistake where you just think, okay, I'm never doing that again, and if you allow that to happen, then that is even more your fault. It falls under the saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, right?
Yeah.
But just with yourself, right? Like, you made that mistake of full sending through the window when you have 2 drones on person. And, you know, if you make that mistake again, then it's even worse than the first mistake, just because it's a multiplication effect of how many times you're doing it now. It's just like, okay, when are you going to actually realize that, hey, like, you know, evaluate something before you commit to something, right? But the thing with that piece of map control in this situation in specific is it doesn't even matter if you kill him as long as you get that piece of map control, because that's ultimately what you're trying to get as an attacker. You're trying to get map control to establish a foundation for your attack to eventually allow you to plant, right? And, you know, utility, operators, and time are your main obstacles, right? But you should be going solely for the plant, right? Or map control.
No, he's still there. He's still there.
And doing it in a timely manner.
He is.
Op 4 last stop standing.
That's one
Active, protected at all costs. You located a bomb. Op 4 neutralized.
Uno. Self off. Onto the stairs.
Like concert players, right? Clip off. And there was a freaking
You must locate and defuse the bomb.
You do have kills, right?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, my process just like disappeared completely, bro. No way.
Yeah, there's that.
One green stairs, 75 HP tachanka.
wow, no ways that muted, bro. Cancel that one.
Easy touch for you guys, bro.
That's the exact, you know, that's the exact thing that I was talking about last round of you holding that window, right? You were holding for the cross, not for someone to peek it. And that Goyo, you know, made the mistake of trying to cross. I mean, ultimately, he wasn't trying to peek you, but,
Yo, stop shooting.
you know, you're here to hold the angle, not peek into the angle like you did last round, like 4 or 3 times.
Oh, they fucking shot it instantly, bro.
I think he was like top red, probably. Denial, bro.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Oh my days. I fucking survived it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I fucking survived this, bro. I didn't think this was that big of a drop. I was just
Bro, anything, it could be anything more than 1 floor, and you.
I know, but I forgot this was more than 1 floor. Because I forgot they have to go up these fucking stairs to go up. You're walking. Oh my days, bro.
Mute shot
Yeah, top
on
printer.
printer.
Literally on the printer. On the printer. KP, there's a first one on the top of the stairs. KP, first one.
Okay, so let's talk about this here. Let's look at the info that you're given, right? So when you drop, even before you drop, you see that the aces are muted, right?
Oh yeah.
So you know that there's a mute jammer somewhere, probably right around there. So you have 2 options. Either throw your drone into the room, use it as bait for someone to shoot it, and then you know someone's there, or try to skim your drone by the proximity of the mute jammer, right? Either way, you didn't do either of those because you drop, hold the angle.
I forgot this was more than 1 floor.
And then you move to back behind you to your right like this. Throw your drone. Even here, your drone's getting muted.
Mute shot.
Um,
Printer.
or maybe your drone did. Okay, so you didn't even. I thought your drone got muted, so that's my fault. But nonetheless, I mean, you still had the opportunity to drone. Also, again, you're not playing with the advantage of Jaeger being banned, and they didn't bring a Wamai last round, right? You know that they have a Tachanka and somebody else, Goyo, Castle, and then a 5th random. Either way, if this guy is dead already, that tells you that Wamai only had 3 Wamais being placed. If he died right before he placed his, right after he placed his 3rd one. So you have 2 nades. The chances of 2 Wamais being here are pretty low. Just because you have to disperse them right and make sure that the area of cover is even, so to speak. But nonetheless, you know, you have the drone to your advantage. Use that. There's a lot of face checking going on, and you might be playing into the fact that it's test server and whatever, blah, 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 blah. But if you're new to the game, you should be, it doesn't matter if it's casual, unranked, ranked, scrim, a fucking pro league match, like whatever the situation is, if you're playing the game, you need to put the reps in, right? You have to put the reps in if you want to get better. And you do want to get better because you're sitting here paying for a coaching session. So you have to understand how important everything you do is, because this is the most important part of you as a player. Is this you're not new to the game, but you're definitely not seasoned. And you know, you're not seasoned, and you don't have that much time played in the game in the perspective of someone who's been playing the game since beta, right? I mean, there's people who are playing the beta or started playing the first day the game came out, and they're still learning something new every single day, right? That's what Siege is. And the biggest thing that you need to understand is the situation that you're in as a new player. And if you create these bad habits, it's like you're going to have to rewrite your history, so to speak. Because if you create bad habits when you're a new player, you're going to have to go back, take out the eraser, erase those bad habits, and then write down a new line of proper text or proper words as just kind of like a metaphor, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, again, not situational awareness, but evaluating a situation. I don't think it's really situational awareness, because I haven't seen too many situations where you know, besides the first round when you get shot in the back and not playing with what you have to your advantage, you know, I haven't seen too many situations where you kind of, you know, severely make a mistake to the point where it gets you killed or a teammate killed. I mean, it's not as bad as you think it is what I should say. There have been situations where situational awareness was a part of the issue, but I don't think it's situational awareness, so to speak, because you can't have good situational awareness unless you evaluate a situation, right? Because if you don't evaluate a situation, then you don't know how to play a situation. So therefore, you won't even know the information that you're being given, or you won't understand how to play a situation if you don't understand what you're getting yourself into or what you might have to commit to, right? Does that make sense? So it's not even... So to you, the first step in your eyes from when you presented this VOD in the beginning was that you need to work on situational awareness. But you need to take a step back and think about the situation before you try to have good awareness in said situation, right? Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. I assume he clutches this round? No? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's going. Type in the video clip, you can't see his one.
Oh, this was...
See how quick they are kicking. What do you mean?
Oh, this man's clip is literally not even him doing anything, bro. Oh, sorry.
And a shotgun, maybe? Imagine having
It's your last hope, it's your last hope. Yo, one's one peak in museum right now. Museum is
Locate and
one
defuse
red
the bomb.
It's not. He's not near us, Lucien, bro.
Hey, they're playing in mirror in the fucking closet, bro. Can you like go over and just destroy that shit?
Yeah. You go above, bro. You go above.
Cover me!
No one is radio. He's sorry.
This guy's clear.
I'm about to.
No one lounge. Lounge is clear. Germany is clear. Yo, the Germany hatch is soft. Yo, both hatches are soft actually. No one. Oh, nice. Which one? The coast
Okay,
guard.
so that's the
I'm droning it right now.
You located a
that's
bomb.
the museum guy, by the way. I don't know if you picked up on
Yeah.
that.
Oh, there's no one
Okay.
there. What's the problem? I popped the mirror in, there's one site.
Tank is above, bro.
In, lockers. Ella's playing yellow.
No, the tank is playing yellow as well.
Oof. That's rough.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even more rough. That is a situation and a half.
The tank was top yellow. Hold up. Yo, the tank is run. Does the tank dead?
I think I killed Legion.
1 out 4 remaining.
Nice.
Done.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm dropping.
I'm holding the main door.
You have located a
Where's
bomb.
lost?
Oh, no, right now.
I'm holding, yo, Japan, I'm holding,
Trench. Oh, his bathroom.
I'm holding the door with the
I'm
lockers.
planting.
Play HP. Bathroom.
He's bathroom. Watch him rotate right now.
User is active.
Yellow.
Protected at all costs.
Nice.
Op 4
Not much really happened that round, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It was just kind of more reactive stuff. But like, I mean, you could even take away there, like, you played... It was definitely a little bit too aggressive for my liking, because you guys didn't get enough info, but nonetheless, you can use that situation there to kind of use it as a blueprint of reacting off of info, right? Because you were playing off of the info that you got, you were reacting to the guy trying to reinforce the wall. The holes in the floor, you saw the tracers go through the floor, right? Before you jumped in the window, like all that stuff. You can use that as sort of a way to understand of how to react off of info, right? Because some people might have just jumped through the window, died to that guy in trench, and then, you know, it could have been very easily avoided if they just paid attention to where the tracers came from, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, does that help at all?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's helped quite a bit.
Did I answer your question or your concern of you as an individual of kind of situational awareness and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
All right, good. So, you have around 15 minutes, or yeah, around like 11 minutes, 12 minutes. So if you have any questions or anything, like it could be about anything, you as an individual, you know, whatever it is that comes to mind, you know, you can ask that. But if you don't, then we can wrap up if you don't have anything else you want to go over.
You know how you saw me like quick peeking? Do you think I need to work on that? Because I feel like I've only just like learned how to do it, but I don't think I'm doing it right in a way. Like,
It does. Again, it's one of those situations where you need to take a step back and ask yourself, why am I doing it in the first place? Because
Yeah.
a lot of new players will see quick peeking, and I'm sure a portion of you feels this way, because I feel like a lot of players who start learning how to quick peek and stuff like that use it in the wrong light. It's not used for getting kills or something like that. Like, it's used for info, right? It's used for a bridge to fill the gap of not having a drone as an attacker or no info. And you need to check, you know, where someone is and what angle they're holding. But like, you doing it, like, it looked fine. It didn't look like you had any hiccups, but make sure that you understand that you're why you're doing it in the first place and the reasoning behind it. Because if you're using it for the wrong reason, then there's no point in you doing it in the first place.